The regular meeting of the Aurora City Council for Monday, April 7, 2025 is called to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Kaufman.
Here.
Councilmember Bergen.
Here.
Councilmember Coombs.
Present.
Councilmember Gardner.
Here.
Councilmember Hancock.
Here.
Councilmember Drinsky.
Here.
Councilmember Cassaw.
Here.
Councilmember Lawson.
Here.
Councilmember Medina.
Here.
Councilmember Murillo.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Sundberg.
Here.
There's a quorum.
Please join me in an invocation. O Lord, our God and our Father, we come to you and we ask that you look upon this particular gathering tonight to keep us safe and guide us in our decisions. Bless our city with honorable citizens, industries, sound education, and good government. Unite our community together, even though we come from different backgrounds. We pray that there be justice and peace in our city. Give the city council and citizens the wisdom, direction, and sensitivity to the business and proceedings before us tonight. Hear us, therefore, as we commit this meeting to the help of the community. Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And let me just say that Councilmember Hancock's salute as an Air Force veteran is probably the best I've ever seen in that branch of service, coming from the Army and the Marine Corps. Land acknowledgments. Land acknowledgments. The City of Aurora acknowledges that we gather on the territories and ancestral homelands of the Cheyenne, Ute, Arapaho, and Lakota peoples past and present. We also recognize the 48 contemporary tribal nations that are historically tied to the lands that make up the state of Colorado. Indigenous peoples have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties that these nations have to their traditional homelands and to their vital place in the ecosystem are renewed and reaffirmed, and we are called upon to be better stewards of the land we inhabit as we continue to work to meet the needs of our entire community. Executive session update. During executive session, we discussed potential litigation, contract negotiation, and real property conveyance. A motion is in order for approval of the minutes for March 24th, 2025.
Mayor, I move to approve the minutes.
It's moved by Mayor Pro Tem Sundberg, seconded by Councilmember Hancock, to approve the minutes for March 24th, 2025. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of the minutes for March 24th, 2025.
Mayor Kaufman,
Mayor votes yes.
I'm a yes.
Mayor Pro Tem. Yes. Councilmember Bergen.
Yes.
The motion passes to adopt the March 24th, 2025 council meeting minutes.
Motion is in order for the adoption of the agenda. Moved by Councilmember Hancock, seconded by
Coombs.
seconded by Councilmember Coombs. Discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on the adoption of the agenda.
Mayor Kaufman,
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Cassaw. Yes. The motion passes to adopt the agenda.
Motion is in order for the adoption of the consent calendar on motions, item number 9C1 through 9C6. It's
Motion to move.
moved by Councilmember Hancock,
Mayor, second.
seconded by Councilmember Lawson. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of the consent calendar on motions, item number 9C1 through 9C6.
Mayor Kaufman,
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Coombs.
Yes.
The motion passes to adopt the consent calendar for motions.
Motion is in order for adoption of the consent calendar on resolutions and ordinances, item number 10A1 to 10B1. Councilmember Coombs.
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Coombs, seconded by
Casal.
Councilmember Casar. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the consent calendar, resolutions and ordinances, item number 10A1 to 10B1.
The motion passes to adopt the consent calendar for resolutions and ordinances.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 12A.
Item 12A is introduction of ordinance 2025-40, authorizing the issuance and sale by the City of Aurora, Colorado, acting by and through its utility enterprise of first lien sewer revenue bonds, Series 2025, in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $85 million for the purpose of financing in whole or in part the cost of additions and improvements to the sewer system operated by the utility enterprise, pledging certain funds and revenues of the enterprise to the payment of such bonds, prescribing the form of such bonds, and providing other details in connection therewith.
Presentation by staff.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council, Teresa Sedmak, City Treasurer. I'm here to introduce ordinance number 2025-40. It's an authorization for the sewer utility to borrow a maximum of $85 million for water treatment and collection system. The bonds will be repaid with net revenues of the sewer system. The bonds are anticipated to be issued by competitive bid with the maximum interest rate of 6% permitted by the ordinance. And just for your information, if the bonds were issued today, it would be closer to 4.5%. But the markets are very volatile, so just giving you kind of an indication of what it would be today. We are anticipating to price and close the bonds in June.
Questions of staff? Seeing none, a motion is in order for the adoption of item number 12A.
Mayor.
This is a hard one. Okay.
Mayor,
Moved by
move to
Mayor Pro
approve
Tem,
12A.
seconded by Councilmember Coombs. Discussion. Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 12A.
Good job. What do you think about the market?
Mayor,
Councilmember Bergen?
Yes, point of privilege, please. So the city attorney told me 10B1 was going to be read separately. And since it was on consent, may I please change my vote to a no?
Yeah, Councilman Bergen, I believe you asked me about 13A. We're not there to that yet. This is about the sign language, correct?
So sorry, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I was just texting.
Okay. Okay.
The motion passes to adopt ordinance 2025-40.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 12B.
Item 12B is ordinance 2025-41, authorizing the Chief Information Technology Officer to acquire certain tangible and intangible information technology property, either by purchase or pursuant to the terms of lease purchase agreements to be entered into between the city as lessee and lease investors, vendors, or the Aurora Capital Leasing Corporation, each as lessor, authorizing officials of the city to take all action necessary to carry out the transactions contemplated hereby.
Brief presentation by staff.
Good evening, Mayor and members of council. That's Scott Newman. I'm the Chief Information Officer for the city. This is an annual requirement. A number of years ago, the Finance Department, working with City Legal, determined that working with outside bond counsel, that on an annual basis, we should have an ordinance that would authorize the IT department to enter into lease purchase agreements. So this is simply the annual renewal. However, we did ask for this item to be dual listed tonight, both in study session and this particular meeting as well, because of extreme volatility right now in the technology market due to the tariffs that are coming through. We do have a number of providers that we've been working with for the last 2 months to secure some additional critical equipment with lease purchases, and they are currently holding the pricing that they negotiated with us back in February and March, pending the outcome of council's decision on this item. So once this was presented to the Management and Finance Committee last week, committee members agreed that we should move this forward and dual list the item both in study session and first hearing tonight.
Questions of staff? Seeing none, a motion is in order for the adoption of item number 12A. I'm sorry, what is it? 12B.
Mayor,
Councilmember Coombs.
move to adopt 12B.
Moved by Councilmember Coombs, seconded by
Mayor, second.
Councilmember Lawson to approve item number 12B. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 12B.
Mayor Pro Tem. Councilmember Bergen.
I thought we was already on AI.
Councilmember Bergen, how would you like to vote?
Oh, I did it. Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes to adopt ordinance 2025-41.
Clerk, now please read the title to item number 13A.
Item 13A is finalizing of ordinance 2025-37, amending sections 146-410-13 and 146-62S, and adding section 146-410-16 of the Unified Development Ordinance pertaining to signs.
Presentation by staff.
Thank you, Mayor. This is ordinance on second reading. This is a zoning code amendment to the UDO relating to city property signs, which would permit digital signage on city property signs, allowing off-premise advertising. The Planning Commission recommended approval of this ordinance on February 26th. This also went before City Council study session earlier in March, and on first reading was recommended for, or voted for approval on first reading.
I recognize myself. I strongly recommend no vote. I believe that this is a foot in the door for billboards, and if you want to see blight, go to Denver. And these are, I get it that these are different, but this is really a foot in the door for a significant change in policy. I'm sorry. Motion is in order.
Mayor, motion to approve item 13A.
Oh, it's moved by Councilmember Jerinsky, seconded by Councilmember Hancock to approve item number 13A. Discussion, further discussion.
Mayor,
I'm sorry.
Bergen?
Councilmember Bergen.
Yes, I voted no at the study session in March, and then voted on the last UDO vote. So I am a no.
Further discussion.
Mayor,
Councilmember Coombs.
I feel like we've been around and around and around on this over and over again, and it seems to just keep coming back, even though we've had the conversations about the ways in which it affects the way our city looks, as well as the potential safety concerns that can arise from having these types of signs. So we've talked about it a lot, and I am still, after all this conversation, still a no.
Further discussion? Seeing none, call for the question on 13A. What's that?
The motion passes with 6 yes votes, 4 no votes from Councilmember Bergen, Coombs, Medina, and Murillo.
Would the clerk please read the title to item number 14A?
Item 14A is ordinance 2025-38, annexing a parcel of land located in the northeast quarter of Section 11, Township 4 South, Range 66 West of the 6 PM, County of Arapahoe, State of Colorado, 2.589 acres.
Presentation by staff.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. My name is Justin Andrews. I'm a project manager with the Office of Development Assistance. A petition for annexation was filed with the city clerk for annexation of a 2.5-acre parcel owned by Triple Creek Capital. This parcel is located within Arapahoe County at the corner, northwest corner of Piccadilly Road and Stephen D. Hogan Parkway. Council made a finding of substantial compliance regarding the annexation on February 10th, and the first reading for this annexation ordinance was held on March 24th. The annexation process follows Colorado state law. This is the third meeting that you are considering this annexation. Tonight's meeting is consideration of the final readings of the annexation and initial zoning ordinance and consideration of the annexation agreement for approval. 14A, which we are talking about now, is the annexation ordinance. 14B is the initial zoning ordinance, and 14C will be the annexation agreement. There's no presentation by the applicant.
Are there questions of staff on item number 14A? Well, we might as well, or 14B or 14C, but we're going to have to vote on them separately. Seeing none, a motion is in order for the approval of adoption of item number 14A.
Mayor, I move to approve 14A.
Moved by Mayor Pro Tem Sundberg, seconded by?
Your second.
Seconded by Councilmember Lawson. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on item number 14A.
Councilmember Bergen?
Yes.
The motion passes to adopt item 14A.
Will the clerk please read the title to item number 14B?
Item 14B is ordinance 2025-39, initially zoning a parcel of land measuring 2.59 acres, more or less northwest of the intersection of Stephen D. Hogan Parkway and Piccadilly Road to mixed-use corridor district and amending the zoning map accordingly.
Motion is in order for the adoption of item number 14B.
Mayor, I move to approve 14B.
It's moved by Mayor Pro Tem Sundberg, seconded by?
Casa.
Seconded by Councilmember Casar to approve item number 14B. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 14B.
Councilmember Lawson?
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes to adopt item 14B.
Will the clerk now please read the title to item number 14C?
Item 14C is Piccadilly and Stephen D. Hogan annexation agreement.
Motion is in order.
Mayor, I move to approve 14C.
It's been moved by Mayor Pro Tem Sundberg, seconded by?
Mayor, second.
Seconded by Councilmember Lawson. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, call for the question on the adoption of item number 14C. Okay.
Mayor Kaufman?
Yes. Mayor votes yes. Yeah.
Councilmember Lawson?
Yes.
The motion passes to adopt item 14C.
Yes. Okay.
Why does
Do it, 16A.
Will the clerk now please read the title of item number 16A?
Item 16A is discussion and possible action regarding future in-person or virtual council meetings.
And Mayor and Council, we just put this back on the agenda just for latest, or kind of some of the council meetings prior, so with no objection, we'll keep it on the council meetings just in case we need it.
Very well. Reports, I have a town hall meeting on April the 19th, Saturday, April the 19th, at 2 p.m., 2 to 3:30 at the Aurora Central Library. Councilmember Coombs.
Mayor, thank you. So a lot of exciting things going on as the spring warms up. Our Connecting Aurora Multimodal Transportation Master Plan has a lot of meetings coming up, but specifically this week there will be a Mission Viejo Library meeting on Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m., followed by a virtual town hall, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. And this is an opportunity to provide input on our access to transit, walking, and biking within the city, and how we're going to plan for being able to have those mode options available to folks in our community. With respect to community engagement, there is an Engage Aurora Live event here at the Municipal Center on April 19th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And for that whole time, actually from 10 to 2 p.m., there will also be a volunteer expo happening as well here at the Municipal Center. And then on April 23rd, which is the following Wednesday, there will be another volunteer expo from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And there are a lot of really great opportunities that folks can take up, regardless of what your interest may be. If you're interested in the courts, you can be a clerical volunteer. APD has victim services volunteer positions available. And then if you like special events, all of our special events have opportunities. If you like animals and our shelter, there is pet fostering available. If you would like to be someone who hangs out with cats and dogs at the animal shelter, unfortunately, there is a waiting list for that opportunity. But also at the Fox Arts Center, at the Center for Active Adults, in community gardens, teen volunteer opportunities with the libraries, as well as Special Olympics. So just regardless of what may excite you, there are volunteer opportunities here in the city of Aurora. In addition, wanted to make sure that folks knew that Global Fest, which has normally been in August, has been moved up to June 14th. I know a lot of folks are excited about that event, and we want to make sure that you can plan to be there on the new date. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
Councilmember Jurenski.
No report.
Councilmember Kassar.
So last week we had a fruitful Washington D.C. trip along with council members and the mayor. I thought that was great, and I learned a lot of experience. I got a lot of experience from that trip. We discussed about our navigation center, Aurora, and then we did discuss about transportation. So it was a good trip. We had a good trip. Thank you.
Councilmember Murillo.
Thanks, Mayor. Just want to echo and a thank you to our lobbying team, our staff for a successful trip. It was great to be able to advocate on behalf of these really big projects in Aurora. I remember one of my early trips, we learned from the Department of Housing, the Federal Department of Housing, that there were some ways that we could adjust the formula grant that we were receiving. So, each time it takes a few years for that, those types of trips to pay off. But I've always been able to see the great value that we bring by being able to meet face to face with our delegation, but also different departments, federal departments that we get grant funding from. Second, my town hall in April will be the 24th at 6 p.m. And it will be at Moorhead Recreation Center. And then just an update from the Aurora Sister Cities International Board. Our team had the privilege of visiting Koreatown in Fullerton, California, as part of our ongoing commitment to citizen diplomacy and global development. During the visit, they had a productive meeting with the mayor to discuss strategies for economic development, community engagement, and the role of culture and urban growth. Koreatown and Fullerton is a vibrant example of how immigrant communities can drive local economies, promote tourism, and enrich the cultural fabric of a city. The experience offered the team valuable insights and inspiration to strengthen their own international relationships and continuing fostering relationships and collaboration between Aurora and our many sister cities around the world. So a big thank you to the city of Fullerton, to the Korea Working Group, and the Aurora Sister Cities International Board.
Great. Mayor Pro Tem Sundberg.
Thanks, Mayor. Went to the spaceport about 10 days ago and presented a proclamation on behalf of children of military parents or military children, which I believe they go through things that often other children don't do, moving around a lot. I went to the African Chamber of Commerce. Councilman Kassah was there. I had that in my calendar, but I forgot to put that I was speaking in there. And so I'm sitting there enjoying a glass of wine and the good food, and all of a sudden my image comes up on these two large screens in front of hundreds of people, and they announced me as a speaker. So improvisationally, I had to whip something out there, and it went fine. Saw the mayor and Councilman Medina at Fire Station Number 9 groundbreaking. Once again, beautiful new facility coming, and the mayor's walking around in the dirt and proving that his footwear is universal all the time. I saw the mayor at the Donate Life event, the annual, I think that's April 4th. Amazing story of a man who had his first heart attack at 25, another heart attack in his 30s. He was dying, got a heart transplant and kidneys from the same young woman, and he's eternally grateful. I went to a Kroger event in which Kroger brought a couple big trucks and donated quite generously to Yale Elementary, a bunch of healthy snacks, school supplies, and bags of food. I have a town hall on April 17th, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., in which we are talking about the important topic in Ward 2, which is growing pains, infrastructure, roads and bridges that are needed. And Laura Perry is going to announce miraculously what's going to happen with Gun Club Road. Yeah.
Councilmember Medina.
Thank you, Mayor. My town hall is going to be tomorrow night, 6:30 to 8 p.m. We'll be having Greg Hayes talking about the budget. It'll be at the Active Adult Center. I also had a meeting over at Montessori del Mundo, which is in my ward. They're off of Chambers and Mississippi. They have some good news. They currently serve K through 6. They're going to be expanding their facility to offer middle school age youth as well, and then they're also looking to purchase another section of the building to have for community events and things of that nature. They're also looking to rebuild a playground in the back area for the kids, so they're doing that this summer. And then I also met with an employment agency called QRS. They're kind of new in the area. They're coming to look at ways to connect people to businesses from everything from service industry to engineers. And that's my report.
Councilmember Hancock.
Thank you, Mayor. I had the opportunity to join my colleagues in Washington, D.C. for a lobbying trip to support our beloved city and to really, again, advocate for infrastructure services and roads. And being on the Transportation Committee, we got to really cheer our community on so that we could get much-needed funding to finish some of the road projects that we have in the pipeline. I also had the opportunity to meet, along with Councilmember Kassah, the ambassador from Ethiopia. That was a really great experience. We went to the embassy and looking forward to forging a relationship with a new sister city and country. So it really magnifies the fact that we are a multicultural city. We're the best on the West Coast, so it's one of those opportunities we had the chance to really shine. I'm very excited to hear that House Bill 251112, local authorities enforce vehicle registration, has gone through the second reading. It passed the House, third reading on Monday, March 31st, so I think it's going to be assigned to Transportation and Energy. And again, it's another example of how the city of Aurora is leading, being the gold standard for what, law, order, things that are right, things that are good in our city, and really manages to influence what happens in policy in our state. My town hall is on this Thursday. We will have Chief Todd Chamberlain as our special guest. So if you got your questions, come on and show up. It'll be at Noonan's. Starts at 6:30 to 8. Yeah. Yes, Noonan's right across the street from Legends. So after you're done over at Noonan's, grab a snack going over to Legends. Oh, that was a shameless plug.
Don't grab a snack. Eat at Legends.
That was a shameless plug. Also, I just wanted to make you aware that we have also on the 15th, Aurora Scholars. If you've never seen these young people be honored, it will be at the Beck Recreation Center at 5:15 to 7. It's an opportunity where these young scholars are nominated through the school systems in the city of Aurora, and they're celebrated for their achievements. And, we spend a lot of time, helping kids that are disadvantaged, that are on the road, that may not be the best for them. But it's always nice, too, to acknowledge kids that are working hard, that are earning and learning and achieving. And it's a good time to really celebrate these young people and continue to encourage them so they continue to be shining lights, again, in our beloved city. And with that said, that's my report.
Councilmember Lawson?
Thank you, Mayor. When you go over to the Aurora Scholars, maybe stay for a little bit, but come over to my town hall at 6:30 at Mission Viejo at 6:30. I know it's in conflict with the Aurora Scholars, but we're going to have Jason Batchelor. He's going to be speaking at my town hall, so please give him a lot of hard questions. And also, we're going to talk about the Build Back Aurora, what's going on with that as well. I just also want to thank all of my colleagues for going on the Aurora lobbying trip. I think what I want to say to the public is that this trip is not something that we're just going in and having fun. We really are doing the work. And every administration that we have every year since I've been on the council, and I've been doing this for 9 years with going on this trip, we have to advocate or see how we can get our grants and funding to support our infrastructure, housing, and the needs of our communities. And we've been successful on many of the grants that we have received. So I really appreciate all the hard work that everyone has done on this trip, Mayor, as well. And again, we meet with our delegation, we talk about infrastructure, we talk about our housing, we get a lot of good information back, and from our Aurora delegation as well, which is our senators and our congressmen. So I want to thank everybody who did attend, and just to let everybody know that this isn't just a trip, that kind of a junket trip. This trip is really, we're really doing the work for the city. So that's my report, Mayor.
Councilmember Bergen.
Thank you, Mayor. I had attended the Fitzsimmons Redevelopment Authority meeting as well as the Build Up Infrastructure Task Force meeting. I just wanted to say for the infrastructure Build Up Aurora, for folks to please go to engageaurora.org/buildupaurora. You can take the survey and give your opinions on what you think are priorities for the city in terms of infrastructure. And then I also did attend the DC lobbying trip. I want to thank Liz Rogers. She did a magnificent job in keeping us all organized on time for all of our very many meetings. And this trip, again, we were advocating for Buckley Space Force Base for their infrastructure as well as for housing for our military. And we met with various departments and Colorado delegation on transportation projects that are critical for us to be funded, as well as water and sewer projects, and also police and fire resources. And then on the Navigation Center, we talked a lot about that to the various congressmen and senators, and primarily trying to get them to advocate for us to allow funding for other than housing first strategy, because we have a housing work and housing treatment strategy. And so that currently is not allowed under the federal law. So we are hoping, we hope that our congressional delegation will advocate for us to be able to receive that. And that's my report.
Well, I also would like to thank Liz Rogers, Manager of Intergovernmental Relations, and Jason Batchelor, our City Manager, for going. And it was a pretty arduous trip. And I think we started the first day. I met at the South Korean Embassy, and then later we met the ambassador at the Ethiopian Embassy. In both conversations was to certainly get them or hopefully to place a consulate in the city of Aurora from their respective countries. We already have 2 in this city, which is a testament to our diversity. But, and as well, I want to thank Councilmember Lawson for her leadership on the Federal, State, and Intergovernmental Relations Committee. It's really, for all the work that she does at the state and the federal level in terms of her leadership, I think it's extraordinary. But I think as Councilmember Bergen and Councilmember Hancock and Councilman Kasu said, that there was a lot of issues covered. We were able to meet in Congressman Crow and Congresswoman Boebert's office, as well as meeting with Senator Hickenlooper and Senator Bennett to talk about issues important to the city of Aurora, as well as appointees in the Trump administration. And so very successful trip. And I just want to say, I post almost daily my activities, so I don't go over with them in the reports, but the ones that I've done. And so I'd urge you to follow me on Facebook, and that's Mike Kaufman Facebook. Just one word will get you there. With that, seeing no further business before the Aurora City Council, meeting is adjourned.